Creamer Media's Mining Weekly is interviewing Shirley Hayes, the chairperson of Copper 360, an emerging copper company which has announced that it'll deploy a cluster mining model at its operations in South Africa's Northern Cape. Shirley, thanks for chatting to Mining Weekly. Let's kick off with this question. What exactly is cluster mining, and why are you opting for a cluster mining model?
Martin, a cluster mining model is one we have several mines that feeds into one process facility. And fortunately, the Northern Cape Copper District allows for that. It's like a copper country on its own with its various ore bodies in close proximity. I must say the cluster mining model is not new, it's not mine. It is exactly a replica of the old Oakip Copper Company that started in 1937. And the reason why they were so successful was because of that. I mean, they paid the highest dividend on the New York Stock Exchange in the 1960s for that specific period. There's several benefits, one of which is a very, very important one. There's a lot of smaller ore bodies, and they can't justify a plant on its own. But because we do have a central facility now, these smaller ore bodies are all now economic viable, and they add up to quite a benefit. And the cluster mining model also allows a plug and play model, if I can say it like that, where you can choose between developing one ore body or mining the other ore body without it actually influencing the production.
And how does cluster mining lower capital expenditure and lower operating expenditure?
You only need one central process facility. And you actually only need one tailings facility. So it's not a duplication of infrastructure on every mine. Yes, we do have additional trucking costs, but they are far less than all the other infrastructure that you have to build. And then we also plan to go electrical at one stage when it is possible and viable. So that will even add to an environmental benefit and cost as well. But the biggest advantage really is that you have processing focus and expertise on one central area, and they're not scattered all over at your mines.
Are there environmental benefits offered by cluster mining?
Hugely. Initially, this was the drive because we were sitting at Rietberg and we already had the processing facility and the infrastructure at Nababib. We had water, we had electricity, and we had buildings, and we had all our focus there. And the infrastructure at Nababib and the process facility there is built on previously disturbed area. So instead of creating a new negative footprint at Rietberg and do the tailings facility at Rietberg, which is a huge environmental negative, we decided, no, let us rather move that at the processing facility that has already been disturbed. So you don't need a tailings facility at every mine with a cluster mining model, and you reduce your footprint hugely.
What is the value of Copper 360's dozen ore bodies, and what is their life of mine?
The life of mine is over 100 years. Our first Mineworks program talks about the first 7 years for Rietberg, but total is 15 years for the first 3 mines to be amendable in the Mineworks progress to the other mines, which is amendable and renewable every 30 years. So it's a life of mine of over 100 years. And Martin, there's about 450 million rand metal value in the ground at a US dollar of $10,000 per ton. So it's a lot of value. It's a lot of value, and it's all in a vicinity of 19,000 hectares, which allows very, very well for the cluster mining model with one process facility.
And regarding your Nababib processing plant, what capacity does that have?
Martin, currently we are at 150 tons a month, and we're busy upscaling to 200 tons. But that's only for the oxides. The sulfides plants will do 800 tons of copper a month. So that comes from Rietberg, the sulfides, and also from our slag projects.
And everybody talks about the heat of the Northern Cape, but it can be turned to quite a lot of value these days. Will you be generating your own solar power?
Yes, we must. It's not a want, it's a need. And we are blessed with long sun hours, extended sun hours. We are busy with the planning of a 10 meg solar plant, and it's called Solar 360. We're very excited about that. Our current power consumption is 1.2 meg. And if all of the plants are in operation, it will be about 8 meg.
And community issues always come up these days, the S in the ESG. What will you be doing for the community?
I'm going to be short on this, but I can actually talk for hours about it. I'm seriously passionate about this. So what we are doing currently, we are rolling out various projects for the community. We do have the necessary social and labor plan, plus the mining charter 3's 5% community trust. But we're going to do more. We're going to do so much more. We want to do more. We want to create a lighthouse community for other mining companies to follow, and other towns to follow, and other cities to follow. We're not talking only about food security and quality of life and job opportunity. We're talking about training, facilitating urban co-design in the little village of Concordia. It is really a tremendous opportunity that we are now, is to take the community with us. And my slogan there is, we don't inherit the future, we create the future. And I'm very, very excited for the Concordia community and what we're going to do there.
We've spoken about the capacity you have, but when will that capacity be reached? How much copper will you be mining, over a period and marketing initially a year?
Martin, at full production at the end of the year, it's about 750 copper a month, which calculates to about 8,000 tons a year. So it's like currently we are at 150 tons of copper plates, which we are busy upscaling to 200. And then when Rietberg comes online, that will be additional 800 tons.
And the big question, what is the date of your listing on the AltX of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange?
We will list on the 21st of April.
Besides Coronation, will any other large shareholders be taking up equity of Copper 360?
Martin, I can't make those details available now. It will be available on listing the 21st of April. But yes, the answer to that is yes, there will be.
That was Creamer Media's Mining Weekly, interviewing Shirley Hayes, the chairperson of Copper 360, which will be listed on the AltX of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange on the 21st of this month.